Hello, babies.
Dr. Big Mac, what is your favorite ingredient on the Big Mac? Thank you for asking, Dr. Big Mac.
The special sauce, of course, you idiot.
Special sauce, of course. Ask your mother. Fuck you, it's your mother too. Fuck you, it's your mother too. And then it just gets
It just goes
it's just 45 minutes of a loop.
That's probably what it would go like.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's start the show on that note. The Simple Minds Sports Show, if you haven't noticed, where we talk New England sports, not just idiotic, moronic things, but New England sports and the latest and greatest. Obviously, today we'll be doing a lot of Celtics talk there, Ray, and we got to do some opening takes. Do you have one off the cups?
Yep.
Have you been thinking of one?
I'll let you go first.
I don't have one. That's why I asked.
Oh, I'm just very happy to see how Mac Jones is no longer the fat boy, the little doughboy that he was, and how
you're going Patriots here. Okay, you got Mac Jones. Go ahead.
Yeah, but how Mac Jones has lost weight. He took the initiative on the offseason. He knew he was a little pudgy. I wish I could do the same thing, not and lose a little bit of weight, but he did the right thing, and everyone's noticing. He's looking a little more toned. A lot of great things out of OTAs this week, saying how he's looked, how he looks better physically, how he's throwing the ball, and how he has chemistry with his guys since he worked down in Florida with them all off season. So yeah, it's just great to hear because there hasn't been too many bright spots in this New England Patriots off season. So that's nice to hear that something's actually going in the right direction.
It's always good to know when a doughboy gets slim.
Oh, of course.
It's always a good thing.
You know his shirt's going to be off all training camp long because if I ever lost that kind of weight, I would have no tan lines because I'd
be think he's cut though, or do you think he's just like skinny? I bet he's like.
Let me ask you this. If you lost any type of weight, like 10, 15, 20 pounds, you would just be like, fuck yeah, and just shirt off all day. You wouldn't care. Even if you get a little boob still, don't matter.
Sure.
You'd still rock that shirtless.
Well, I actually did that the other weekend.
You lost weight. Good for you.
I guess. But it was just warm out, and we were sitting in the sun, and I just had a little pop the old shirt off, and I got sunburned. Like I was,
you're not the good skin tone. The skin tone on you is not good.
Pasty little, I am a pasty little cunt. I'll give you an opening take. We got to talk Celtics. Obviously, we're in the NBA playoffs. They're the hottest team in Boston. Obviously, they got the big win.
Are they?
You want to go Trevor Story on me right now, Billy Baseball?
No.
You want to go 3 games under 500 with me right now? The Celtics are the hottest team, and they are the number one story in Boston. Obviously, 1 game away from the NBA Finals, which would be their first time back there since 2010, where they lost in the 7 games to the LA Lakers. But that game 5 specifically, here's my opening take. I think the will of the Celtics is a real thing. And what I mean by that is I didn't give them credit for wearing Giannis down in that game 7 where Giannis was missing bunnies late in that game. And I just thought that he had a bad game, and it wasn't necessarily the Celtics that wore him down because he scored 44 and got 21 rebounds in game 6 at home. So I didn't think that 2 days would make that difference, but I look at the way that series worked out, and not just Giannis missing bunnies in game 7, but their shooters went ice cold in game 6 and 7. You look at Miami now in the last 2 games, their shooters, their role players have gone ice cold. Max Strus hasn't hit a shot in 2 games, literally. And then you look at Jimmy Butler, who granted is probably injured, but looks like everybody's injured out there, including the Celtics. And that guy can't even get off the fucking floor. Kyle Lowry looks dead.
He didn't score a basket the other game either.
So I think we just have to even us green teamers have to start giving the Celtics even more credit than we've given them. And if you listen to some national media, specifically Pat Beverly, who I don't think has watched the Celtics game this fucking season, because this guy doesn't know anything about him and gives them no chance against the Warriors if they get there. I just think it's time. Look, let's give the Celtics even more credit than we've given them. I think they've worn this Miami team down to a pulp, just to a little fucking nub. Those guys look dead in that game. And I think that that has more to do with the Celtics than it does to do with their opponents at this point in time.
Agreed 100%.
So we'll be doing a lot of that talk. That was basically the whole first segment of the show that I had planned. So maybe we'll just unless you have something to say, you always add something, super informative and clever. So we'll wait for that to start the show. Some Celtics talk. There's some NBA news that I'd like to get to. I really
Is
kind
there a
of
fire somewhere?
shoehorned this NBA news quote unquote segment into the show just so I could talk about the hottest source of heat in New York City. We'll be touching on that.
We're talking about global warming.
Yeah, well, not if you ask. I'm sure not if you ask the biggest YouTube doctor on the planet. I'm sure he has something to say about it. And of course, the Warriors did play last night. We're assuming they won in close.
Rachel Thomas says they won. Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Maybe Luke had something to do with that. I have some thoughts on that Warriors Dallas series, though. The Red Sox. Ray thinks the Red Sox are the hottest team in Boston, so they are winning. They are winning games.
Cool.
We'll talk about them a little bit. Mac Jones spoke to the media, so we'll follow up on Ray's opening take. I put wrestling with Ray because you seem to be posting a lot of wrestling things. So
I try to do once a week. Just try out once a week and throw it
1 minute with Dr. What was your wrestling?
Wrestling with a doughboy.
Wrestling with a doughboy. Maybe a minute segment of that. And of course, simplest minds of the week. So that's the show today. No Bill again, just myself and the doughboy. So welcome to the Simple Mind Sports Show. Friday Rewind, May 27th. Nailed it. Welcome to the show.
It is. I thought it was 20th. That's not me.
Idiot.
I don't like how you do that. It's not nice.
What I got the date quick and made you think. Yeah. No, you know what? I have a flight tomorrow. That's the only reason why. I've been looking at the date all day.
See if your flight got canceled.
Yeah, that's the only. Well, no, they sent a. Can we just do a quick what's bugging me or a little pet peeve? Grind your gears. The old Peter Griffin grinding my gears. I'm getting really fucking sick of these weather updates on your phone, like we're children and have never seen rain before. So that last week or a couple days ago, we got this alert that there's going to be this big thunderstorm with some tornado warnings. And there have been some tornadoes that touched down around me the last couple of years, like little tornadoes and stuff. But this like alarming behavior and like warn the people that rain is coming and there might be some hail and it's a big alert on your phone. And then today we got it from United Airlines. There'll be thunderstorms. Please expect delays and blah, 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 blah. It's like, have people not been dealing with thunderstorms forever? Do you not understand that it's just a fucking rain? It's just rain. It's just rain.
Maybe if you're planning a pool party, they don't want you to be in the pool because of lightning and you could get electrocuted, Richard.
Well, then I take it all back. That's a very appreciative take on pool party goers. But I have a neighbor that's like his daughter.
Excuse me. You live on a lake. That should be really like informative news for you. So if you ever
no, I just pay attention to the E. coli rates in that lake. Our neighbor was like, my daughter's going back, is at a school June 6th. It was supposed to be June 1st. And I'm like, we didn't get any snow. Like, why did she, what are the days for? Rain. They sent the kids home or left them home for rain. Now, granted, a school bus did get stuck in a river in a flood last year.
So they're taking all precautions. Light drizzle, school's canceled.
I'm just sick of the fucking alerts. Careful, it's going to rain today. There might be some thunder. Don't get scared, you pool party pussies.
Well, maybe they don't want you wearing your white Air Force Ones. Ever think of that?
Keep them stomping. If you're looking to stomp, head on down to White Birch Brewing, the best craft brewing in New Hampshire, Nashua, New Hampshire. Ray, address, please.
460 Amherst Street.
Good side of Amherst Street. Head on down to Nashua. Get yourself a flight. Get yourself a pint. Get yourself the Dr. Vittles flight of pints and drive home responsibly or call Uber Ray and ask him for our check. If you can't get to the brewery, then get at your local beer store and those big four-pack producers and have yourself a night time travel with Ray. It's always fun. Wherever you get it, tell me Simple Minds boys send you White Birch Brewing. Okay. Oh shit. Hold on. I just clicked something that I wasn't supposed to click.
Corn. You have a 45-minute tab open?
45 second.
Well, we're not Bill.
By the way, Bill's so full of shit. 45 minutes.
Full shit.
You, dude.
That's like getting the lotion, making sure like the candles are lit. That's the only reason why it takes 45 minutes. It's like 30 seconds, but it's like
setting up the mood
prepping. Yeah. Putting on a Kevin Costner movie in the background.
Puts his Bull Durham jersey on, but only buttons one button at the bottom. His chest is exposed, so we can land it on his chesticle hair. Yeah. What a fucking asshole. 45 minutes, multiple tabs. Sure, man. Yeah, the fucking Matrix.
Cool. Yeah.
Anyway, the Celtics one game away. They beat the Heat 93-80. Here are my key takeaways. This is what we do on the recap shows. I'm going to give you my key takeaways. Stop me when you want, and we'll discuss from there. So right off the bat, defense is still carrying this team. They shot like shit in basically the entire first half. They were 10 of 33 overall for three, but the defense left Miami struggling. I don't know if it was all Celtics defense, because that Miami team, like I said in the opening take, they just look like they got cement in their shoes, or someone tapped them with a Harry Potter wizard and they forgot how to fucking shoot. They can't hit the broadside of a barn. Oladipo had a comical series of misses.
That 3-pointer he took. Woo!
He shot that three. It hit the backboard. Bang! Hit the backboard. He get the offensive rebound, cycle it around. He gets an even more wide open shot. He misses it even worse. I mean, that was honestly the point in the game. Was like, oh, we're going to the finals. That's it. This shit's over. So, but however, the Celtics defense did their part. It was 17-19 in the first quarter, and then the Celtics outscored them, I think, 30-25 in the second quarter. So, and only 80 points on the game. Celtics defense is what starts their success. Like I said, Jimmy looks cooked. He was passing up shots left and right, and the ones he took, a couple bad air balls in the second half. The ones that went in were shaky, one-handed, rattling in and out of the rim.
Some of them were like bunnies, like right by the basket, and he was missing them.
The first shot he took was like from a half a foot out, and he airballed it.
I'm like, whoa.
Maybe it rimmed out, but
it did rim out, and I'm like, uh-oh. And there was reports that he's hurt, but like no one's reporting what it is, but he something's definitely wrong with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I think they're blaming it on the knee and that Peyton Pritchard thing, but
it has to be something more extensive than that. I mean, he just doesn't look right. I mean, he is a all-star type player, and to look this bad in an Eastern Conference Finals game at home,
dude, he dropped 41 in game one and dominated the second half. He won that game by himself.
That's what I'm saying. So what happened in the past 4 games to make him go from a hero to like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
He has a little bit of a mental case. Like, he's forced his way out of 3 franchises. Chicago, Minnesota, and Philly, I guess, let him go, which was a mistake. But
yeah,
and they almost had a blow up in Miami this year. Remember, he was fighting Spoelstra on the bench.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just mailing it in. Maybe just cashing it in. Does Lowry definitely looks fatter, right? I'm not imagining that.
As a fat person, I can say this, that yes, he does look a little fatter and slower.
He's 36.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he looks like shit.
You know who else looks like shit?
Oh, no. It doesn't look like shit. He looks like a douchebag.
Okay, well, this guy, I was going to get there.
I'm sorry.
Guy doesn't physically look like shit. Physically, I'm sure the young ladies out there find this
the panties are very
Gen
moist.
Z fucking douchebag very attractive for some reason. But Tyler Herro on the bench last night for the second game in a row where they desperately needed shooting, but his dainty little taint. I'm sorry. Shit. What is it? What is wrong with him?
Groin.
Yeah, couldn't play a second game in a row, and he's out there wearing the douchiest sunglasses, all white Miami style outfit. It just looked like an asshole on the bench.
Now, how did Pat Riley not see this in the locker room and go, no, change your fucking clothes. Here's some money. Go to the store, get something different because you look like a fucking dink.
Here's some money. We just think, you $5 million a year. You're buying these stupid things. Speaking of Pat Riley and the way that he was looking at things, that meme of him and Alonzo Mourning after the Jaylen Brown dunk is going around. Have you seen it?
No, I have not.
Jaylen Brown has that dunk, the emphatic dunk,
yeah.
and the camera, this was live. The camera panned to Pat Riley and Alonzo Mourning, and they're just stone faced, looking straight forward, no reaction, no nothing, just a level of defeat. Like,
fuck.
It was terrific. How about Bam Adebayo? I think.
Who?
Yeah, who? Dwight Bosch. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Dwight Bosch has been totally exposed as, you know, a lot of people talk about number 1, number 2, number 3s on championship teams in the NBA. This guy's a 3 at best.
Well, he did. He had a good game. What was it? 4?
Game 3.
3. He had a good game.
Robert Williams. Robert Williams has put that guy in his shorts and walked home.
And I think, and if you don't have Robert Williams in this series, he's been the X factor. He has been the X factor in this series.
Maybe. I mean, I get Robert Williams is a good defender and a good rim protector, but I watched him try to defend Giannis. He couldn't stick with Giannis. He can
stick with Bam.
I guess. I think Bam is a pussy, frankly. I think Bam is playing like a little coward, and his top guys are either hurt or not being able to contribute. And it took them till they were losing by 20 in the final 10 minutes of the fourth quarter to finally take some shots. And he started making a couple those little turnaround bunnies in the lane. I am really not impressed with Bam Adebayo, and totally exposed as a third key to a cog on a championship team at best, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what's funny about that whole situation? He signed a max deal. Nice job, Pat.
I mean, look, he's a good player and good in putting the positions to excel his strengths. He's really good. Again, you saw it in game 3.
But when you get exposed like that,
he got exposed. He got exposed.
Yeah.
It would be like if Jalen and Jason went down or were not being able to play, and Marcus Smart had to go out there. But I'll tell you this: I bet Marcus Smart would score 30 fucking points if he was put in that position to do so. Bam Adebayo can't do it.
Mm-mm.
I don't think he can do it.
No, it's just funny because they paid him that kind of money to be that kind of guy, because obviously Jimmy Butler is the 1A. They thought this guy was going to be the 1B, and he is definitely not.
Like they don't have a 1B. They don't even have a 1A. Jimmy Butler's going to quit.
If everything's rolling.
No, I understand what you're trying to say. I'm just looking at that roster now and going, shit, man. Like,
that roster looks depleted now.
Not looking.
That Kyle Lowry, you got Jimmy Butler, who doesn't give a fuck. Bam Adebayo, who got exposed. Tyler Herro, who would rather look like a douchebag instead of go out there and try to run on that groin. It's like, I mean, look at Marcus Smart. His fucking ankle, that thing's destroyed. He's going out there. He said he's not going to sit another game. He wants to play. That's the type of player you want to have. Not Tyler Herro is going to dress like a fucking dink on the sideline, wearing his all white and sunglasses on the sideline, trying to get as much pussy as he can. Fuck that. That's why I like this team. I like Marcus Smart and how they're playing. You know, they've been almost to this point. They've almost been to the finals, and now they're at the one game away. And they're giving it all because they know that they've been there so many times and they just need to get to that next level, and they're doing it. And hats off to them.
Yeah, I think the mentality is there. I think they finally have kind of tapped into it. Maybe not all the way, but they definitely understand. This is Jaylen Brown's 4th conference final. Marcus Smart's 4th conference. Marcus Smart's been in the playoff 8 years.
Yeah.
I think they've each been to 4. Jason Tatum's 3rd conference final. So yeah, I mean the experience I think is there and it's helping them. Obviously, Al Horford, heard the stat the other day. Al Horford has the most playoff minutes of an active player without reaching the finals.
That's crazy.
It might even be active player. Yeah, it must be active player because there must have been other players out there that. But you just think all those years in Atlanta that those guys underachieved as the number 1 seeds and never got to the finals.
Yeah.
He's played a lot of playoff minutes, and yeah, I think you're right. I think they can all kind of feel that, but Marcus Smart was definitely hurt. Like you could tell he was.
Him and Rob Williams
4 fouls. He was, not fast. He was not quick.
I mean, through our text exchange, I mean, how many times did you see Rob Williams like hobbling up the court and we're like, what this guy clearly his knee is bothering him. He's out there and we give him shit all the time and say, he's injury prone, blah, blah, blah. But he's out there on a fucking bad knee, giving it his all because he knows his team needs him. So
yeah, you have to give him a little bit of credit. And they do pump up those injuries a little bit more, but you can tell Robert Williams and Marcus Smart are playing through injuries for sure.
Oh yeah.
Not only playing through them, contributing, especially in the case of Robert Williams, 27 minutes. and was a key piece. His numbers don't even matter. You just see the impact that he has on the floor. We just talked about
early though. He was lackadaisical. I think we also texted this to each other that no one was boxing out in the beginning of the first quarter. Everyone was playing lazy kind of. They weren't playing lazy defense because they were playing good defense. But once the shot went up, everyone was just staring at the ball. Like no one was getting a man, putting a body on him. And you could see Rob Williams like getting out rebound. And they even told it on the telecast that, look at Rob Williams getting beat by 31. Who the fuck was that shooter?
Strus 31. I don't know. I think there was an obvious one where he closed out on a 3, and it might have been Butler. And he beat him for an offensive rebound and got a bucket. And I felt like that kind of woke him up a little bit. But yeah, I think that their defense was good. It wasn't great in the first half. Miami missed a ton of open shots. Yeah. And yeah, they were playing a little bit slow, playing a little bit lazy. It had, I think it creeped into Jaylen Brown's game. Certainly he had 4 turnovers. Everyone was making a big deal of it because you asked for him to be called off ripped off the court, which I did, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really those 3 turnovers in a row. And it probably should have been
bad.
4 or 5. He lost the ball in like 3 or 4 out of 5 or 6 possessions and kept trying to doing the same thing, just driving into traffic with Oladipo and Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry, who were some of the best defensive hands in the game. And you just keep trying to get to that move and being lazy with it. PJ Tucker stole it because you were just handling the ball out in front of you. And everybody said, get this fucking guy off the court.
Yeah, if you went on Twitter at that point, it wasn't just me. It was everybody that was like, get Jaylen off the fucking court because it was just bad basketball. He was just playing lackadaisical, anything that he was trying to do, like the Heat had an answer for, and it was just sloppy basketball. So it was one of those things where I don't know what Ime said to him in the locker room, but whatever it was woke him the fuck up because the second half was a tale of 2 halves for Jaylen Brown.
It's Ime, right? Or is it Ime?
I say Ime.
I think it's Ime.
Yeah, you say tomato. I say tomato.
I think I wanted to make a joke about if I may, a little pun, but then I looked it up and it's Ime. I think that's right. Ime Udoka.
It's my French Canadian accent that says Ime.
Yeah. How do you spell French Canadian? CUNT. Jaylen Brown was definitely a problem in the first half. Obviously, he straightened it out in the second half, was your leading scorer, which we can get to right now. Before we get to that, I want to stick with the first half. We haven't touched on this guy yet. Derek White in 29 minutes, 14 points, 5 assists. Obviously Marcus Smart picked up 4 fouls relatively early, picked up 2 fouls really early.
Real early.
Came in. Jason Tatum had his fake shoulder injury. Derek White was supposed to come in for him, but then, miraculously that got better. So, and then when he finally came in, he's had 2 really good games in a row. I don't want to go overboard with Derek White because he's had some bad games and he still can't shoot. But what I like about him, obviously, here's the number one thing I like about Derek White. He can come in and the offense, there's no change of paces, nothing different between him and Marcus Smart. In fact, I think he moves the ball better. I think he's more aggressive on the driving kick.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want you jumping down my throat, so I'm glad you said that. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, Marcus Smart is definitely prone to be able to look and like he's a better passer, and I think a probably overall better distributor.
I think he slows the offense down a little too much.
Yeah, he's got a different game than Derek White. Derek White wants to catch and go and use his momentum because he has a shot that I don't think anybody outside of maybe Tatum from time to time has, and that's that floater in the lane. And when that's on, that's a Tony Parker thing. And I don't know if you learned that from the Spurs system. I don't think him and Parker overlapped. I think Parker retired before he got there, but maybe he was still sticking around.
I was going to say Parker.
He looks just like Tony Parker's, right? So, and he played for a long time. Yeah. When did Tony Parker? Bill would fucking know. Yeah, so anyway, I like those 2 things about him. I like the fact that it's pretty seamless offensively and defensively when Derek White comes in there. He doesn't have the old girth, the old behind that Marcus Smart does. Obviously, Smart can guard 1 through 5 in this NBA.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Derek, I keep taking the words out of your mouth.
No, Derek White, I don't think can guard. He got a little bit of mismatches on PJ Tucker and Bam Adebayo, and it was like, ooh, But if
Yeah, he
Marcus
was
Smart
getting
was on that,
checked.
I wouldn't be worried about that. I'd be like, Marcus can hold his own. Derek White is a little guy out there, and he definitely gets bodied when he's down low.
Yeah, and he's not going to get as many steals. I don't think he's going to get the turnovers. He's just solid. He's just a solid player. He's a perfect backup point guard in the NBA because of his faults and because of his strengths. But certainly you needed him in these 2 games with Marcus out.
And I think he knows that. That's the best part about him. He knows that he's a backup point guard. He doesn't need to be the guy to jump into starting lineup or have the ball go through his hands in order for the offense to work. So I think that's another plus on Derek White for you.
Yeah. Yeah. A really nice role player in a team with a lot of good role players, but none of those guys would matter unless it was without Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Those guys took over in the end of the third and the beginning of the fourth quarter. Here was the key sequence that I thought took place where they really took over. It was into the end of the third quarter, maybe like 6 minutes or so left. Jaylen Brown had 3 out of 4 plays. Jason Tatum had the other one. And it started like this. Jaylen Brown drove baseline and made a baseline swing pass to Grant Williams, who hit a corner 3 to stop some momentum from the Heat. That little fucking Gabe Vincent had hit 2 or 3 shots in a row and was keeping the Heat in it. And Jaylen Brown came down and Grant made a nice assist to Grant Williams. Next possession or the possession after, Jaylen Brown came down and had a nice move into the mid-range and hit a mid-range jump shot. The next possession, Tatum drove and got a mid-range floater. And then the next possession to end the third quarter, basically, Jaylen hit a turnaround Jay from around the elbow. And that took the Celtics into double-digit lead going into the fourth quarter. And then they blew doors in the fourth quarter. Jaylen Brown had 3 big threes. Jason Tatum, piled on. Al Horford was in there too. The Jays outscored the Heat 38-37 by themselves in the second half of that game. That's what superstars do. We've been waiting to see that kind of performance from these guys. Superstars.
Wow.
Superstars.
Wow.
I put a suspension on the superstar for Tatum after that game 3 performance.
But you're calling both of them superstars, so that's big. You said superstars. You're not saying superstar.
I'll give it to them. They're in the they're in the Final Four. Jaylen Brown had a shitty first half. And then he came back and led all scorers, and you could tell he was pissed, and you could tell he was motivated. And when he dropped that 3-pointer at the end of the shot clock from about 30 feet in the Heat's eye to put him up 23 in the fourth quarter, just as a fuck you dagger, yeah, you can move up into that superstar status at this point in time in the playoffs. Talk to me again next year when we get to the regular season. There's some players that are better than him. He's not all NBA. Congratulations, Jason Tatum, on first team all NBA. We haven't touched on that yet. Snap, snap, snap.
Pay him money.
I just thought that was a key sequence. And while I'm here, let me mention this. In the middle of that, or around that same time, was that sequence of the Oladipo trying to break the fucking backboard with his shots.
Game 4, though, he was fucking on fire. So I don't blame him for shooting as much as he did on game 5. But, oh, boy.
Someone needed to.
When you're not on, you're not on, because he was not on game 5.
No, that was bad. But to start that whole momentum shift off, and I think this is a play that's getting not enough attention. Al Horford caught a rebound.
This is the one that I think turned the whole tide and got the whole energy back on the Celtics side.
I went back and looked, and the score doesn't really reflect it, but watching it live, I thought this play really changed the momentum. And it was when Al got the long rebound and went coast to coast through 3 Heat players and got the and one layup. Al Horford again being the catalyst for that team. And again, it was fucking little Gabe Vincent that had hit like 2 turnarounds, and I think Duncan Robinson hit a 3 after that. So there was some scoring from the Heat, but it was not easy shots. And the Celtics were matching it twice over in that stretch until you got to that Jaylen Brown sequence at the end of the third quarter and into the fourth. But that Al Horford play, you felt it. I mean, I literally said it out loud. I was like, all right, this is it. You got the momentum now. Put the pedal down. Let's go.
They did. And they sure did.
Sorry, I lost my place.
No worries. No need to yell at me, but all right, no worries.
No, the next thing I had, the next note was just the Celtics defense and how much credit we should give them for wearing teams down. I kind of already explored it in my opening take, but do you agree with that? Do you think
They're the best defensive team in the league? Of course, I'd give them a lot of credit for this and how everyone bought in come January 1st, 2022. It's been a whole new team. If you remember the first half of the season, we were calling for everyone to get fired, trade the Jays, get a high lottery draft pick, just sucked so you can start a rebuild. Something changed and they bought into this system and it is working. You're one win away from the NBA finals because of your defensive play. It's nothing else. It's the defense that they bought into. So I give this 100% of the credit for where they are right now.
Yeah, I think we have to start to say that's what. And
Bill sent that. If you keep going, Bill sent that stupid stat. Something about the Heat were only 5 times this year. The Heat were 90 points or less or something like that. And the Celtics did that 3 times to them.
Oh, right. 5 points this season. The Heat failed to score over 90 points, and the Celtics are 3 of those games.
Yes. Thank you.
And I'm sure if you went through, the teams that the Celtics play a lot, I bet you that statistic kind of rings true with a lot of teams that they play. Yeah, their defense is excellent. The number 1 defensive team in the NBA this year. But I don't think that reflects on like what I'm necessarily talking about. And Ime said it himself. He said, like, we wear teams down. The amount of bodies that we can throw at guys, he said, mentally and physically wear teams down. And he pointed out, I think he said, I think you saw that in the Bucks series with Giannis and those guys. And yeah, I think you're seeing it now. And I think you're seeing some quit in the Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry is just going,
well, look at the first round.
Can't fucking beat it. We just can't do it.
Look at the first round when we swept the Nets. I mean, Kevin Durant, arguably the best player in the world right now, and they shut this guy down. They slowed him down. They made him pretty much be like, I'm done. Season's over. This team's way better than me. Like, I can't do anything to beat this team. So they've done it round after round against Kevin Durant, best player in the world. Giannis, arguably the second best player in the world. Some people think he's the best player in the world. It's a beautiful run that they have going on right now, beating some of the best players in the world, and they're shutting them down, getting them tired, getting them out of their rhythm. And it's just great to see. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's rewarding. It's rewarding to watch, I think, after seeing Jalen and Jason fall short and probably and certainly underachieved in the last few years, watching it all kind of come together the way that it is. Now, it's not done yet. Look, it's not done yet. They got game 6.
Of course, they have to win it.
They got to go out there and take care of business. And as much as it looked like Butler and Lowry and those guys have quit, I wouldn't put it past Jimmy Butler to come out and have a 35-point game in game 6. He has that fuck you mentality, and he's such a competitor. I would hate to see him just quit like it looked like he did in game 5, but maybe he's just hurt and can't do it. But I would expect a pushback in game 6. It's the hardest game to win. It's the elimination game. It's the hardest game to win. But it seems like Jason Tatum, the best player and the leader of this team, has his head on straight. It seems like he has kind of figured out the mentality that he needs to get to this finals, just the way that he talked after the press conference. We've talked about the way that he bounced back after bad games. Now we've seen them have a good bounce back and then ride that into a good win away.
Crucial game 5. That is, what do they say? 83% of the time, whoever wins game 5 goes on to the NBA finals.
Yeah, they got the numbers in front of it. And what I like from Tatum is he shot like shit in that first quarter and first half, but he affected the game. He had 9 assists. He was 1 assist away from a triple-double. He had 12 rebounds. He ended up with 22 points because, him and Jalen caught fire there at the end of the 3rd and 4th. But he wasn't having a good game to
4
start.
4 points in the first.
And, he stuck with it. I think his mentality is there. Do you think, do we think he's learning now, like on the fly? Do you agree with that sentiment that he's learning how to win on the fly in these playoffs, plus the experience he's had before? Do you think he's getting it, or do you think he has got it?
I think he's got it. I think he's because none of these guys have been to the finals before. I mean, look at the roster. No one's smelled the finals that I can think of off the top of my head. Maybe a guy far down the bench was on a shitty team. That
No, I
lost or
don't
something.
think they have anybody that's been in the final. Those guys down the bench are like Nick Staskis and
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like, but so they're not really learning from anyone. So I think it is Tatum just taking the initiative and being like, yeah, this is what we need to do to get to the next level.
yeah, I think that this playoff run and the strength of the teams that they've played have really benefited Jason Tatum and his mentality. And the and I want to give Al Horford some credit too. I think that he's in the ears of these guys like, I'm 35. I've done this 16 times. Like,
I need to go.
We got a shot here, guys. Don't fuck around. Just stay focused for another month. And like, just stay focused, stay in it, stay within yourself.
Don't get COVID.
Don't get fucking COVID. So let's see if they can stay within themselves. Friday night tonight, as this is released, 8:30 start time, Game 6, Eastern Conference Finals, elimination game in the Garden in Boston.
What time's your flight tomorrow?
Early.
Oh, good. So you'll be able to see the game.
Yeah, I'll see the game, and I'll be. No, I'm not going to tell you what time zone I'll be in.
I know you're going to be in the Mormon zone.
It'll be a nice. I like the.
No alcohol for you tomorrow.
I like the Western Mountain Time Zone sports watching.
Yeah,
it's nice.
That's good. Because what is that? 6:30.
Yeah,
it's 2 hours, right? Yeah,
it's like a normal fucking time.
Yeah.
But that place will be rocking.
Oh fuck yeah.
that place will be insane.
Especially if they win. Outside the Garden on a Friday night after a win, going to the NBA Finals, that place. Woo!
It's gonna be good.
A lot of people are gonna be getting pregnant that night.
I remember a little quick story time. 08 when they won it, Game 6. I was with Joe Carroll,
Nubs,
in Raymond, and we just impromptu decided to go down to the city and see if we could get tickets, but basically just watch the game. We watched the game at a bar outside of, I think it was it still a Fleet Center in 08?
Yeah.
Anyway,
no, it's the Garden.
Was it the Garden?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was like 02. Anyway, yeah, so they won it, and the mob that went through the city was pretty impressive.
Oh, I bet.
Pretty impressive. Climbing light poles, shoving cops.
Fuck you, guy.
Fireworks, fucking everything, So yeah, it should be pretty good. It's not the finals, but it's been 12 years since they've been to the finals. So a win on Friday night, the city should be nuts. Should be fun. They should pull it out. This Miami team looks dead.
I totally agree.
All right. Quick break, and we'll get to our NBA news.
All right, I was getting worried because I didn't see a beer in your hand at all.
Drinking the whole time.
Oh, I didn't see you. It's just weird because we're having a nice conversation back and forth, so maybe I'm not picking up on it. Usually when someone's rambling, I can tell when, someone's drinking a lot or not.
Yeah, no, I had some lunch beers and haven't really stopped.
That boy.
I think that's why I'm in low energy. It's really, they've caught up to me.
Oh, I got you.
Because then I came and I mowed I mowed both lawn. Like I did some real serious work.
Well, I mean, just mowing your lawn in general, that's a workout.
Yeah.
That incline. Whew, those quads must be screaming right now.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. Oh, I'll tell you something after. It's not that interesting.
Great.
Remind me.
Can't wait.
All right, NBA news. So we're a little Golden State talk. So this is Thursday night as we record. We are not positive that Golden State closed it out, but
wait. Yes, we are.
Okay. Golden State has closed it out. They're going back to the finals. Finally healthy after 3 years, was it? Clay was out.
Well,
2
Clay
years.
was out too. So yeah, and then Steph
was
his
out.
Hand,
so
Draymond
when was the last
just
finals they went to? 17?
Braun when he was the Cavs?
18?
Right?
God, this is why we need Bill.
Yeah.
Fucking Rain Man shoot it out there.
I think it was 17-18 season. Because LeBron went to the Lakers in 19. Won it in the bubble in 20. Yep.
Right. Yeah, I think 18 is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So for first time since 18, we're sure on that. Warriors are going back. We think, but let's play. Let's rewind and say no. I'm telling you, tonight. I'm rooting for Dallas. Obviously,
of course.
Obviously, they can't win the series. Golden State's going to win the series, but
never say never.
Less rest is certainly beneficial to the Celtics. When it inevitably is the Warriors, we don't want them sitting for any extra days. The Celtics are sitting. Celtics are banged up. They need as much rest as anybody else. I'd love to see Luka push this to a game 6, even a game 7, and get his heart broke. Obviously, I mean, I think that's a pretty obvious sentiment from a Celtics fan.
And as a Celtics fan, I'd like to see more televisions panning to his mother that's sitting courtside. That would be great.
Yeah. Let's get to the real NBA news, which is the Brooklyn Nets reportedly are refusing to give Kyrie Irving a long-term contract extension, reportedly related to his inability to commit to the team and do anything normal and just come and work for that $35 million paycheck that he collected this year after skipping 50-plus games. I hate Kyrie Irving. I will hate him till the day I die. He is a fraud. He is a liar. He is a buffoon. He is a douchebag. He is full of shit. And it just makes me happy, Ray, that finally, it feels like it's taken years for the public and for people to come around and notice and realize the fraud, the bullshit artist, the YouTube doctor that this fucking asshole is. He's such a piece of shit. I hate Kyrie Irving so much. He is dragging the professional NBA players' ability to negotiate and further their livelihood more than anybody has done in the history of the NBA. He's hurting his fellow teammates, his quote unquote brothers, and all these guys that look up to him. And I think that whole brotherhood is collapsing on Kyrie Irving. And it makes me so goddamn happy because in relation to that news, Kevin Durant has not spoken to the Nets since they got swept by the Celtics. It's the dumpster fire that we predicted 2 years ago. And it is fully ablaze, even more so than it was against the sweep.
We should get blue check marks for this. Just honestly fucking verify us because we knew this was going to happen. We said this years ago.
Bill had it by the season. There was the season was starting late. It was starting at Christmas. Bill had it burning down at Christmas. I think you had it in February. I think I had it in the playoffs. I call it
Valentine's Day. Yeah, I said Valentine's Day.
And I think it happened in the playoffs. Either way, the Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, James Harden dumpster fire is still burning, and the Nets ownership is looking for a way to stomp out the ashes, specifically, hopefully with a trade, or maybe they just let this fucking guy walk next year after he picks up his option.
You forgot Ben Simmons in that.
They're trying to trade his broke, stupid, pussy ass too.
It reminds me of the Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce trade that the Celtics pulled off and didn't work out. And then they had to blow it up because it just wasn't working.
At least Pierce and Garnett and those guys played.
Tried.
At least they tried. It was probably Darren Williams, however you pronounce it. Like, he was kind of a dog too. He didn't really try that hard.
He got fat.
He got fat. Like, Pierce and Garnett were old, and the Jet was in that trade too, right? Like, they just...
Yeah, he was coming up
Lopez on that team. Yeah, they underachieved. They should have been more, but they gave up too much for some aging superstars. And that the Nets, I feel bad for them with the Kyrie thing. They got bamboozled like everybody else. I'm just glad to see that people are
Which one's worse?
Stephen A. Smith, who I've always found a little bit annoying, but also entertaining. He does a good job at his job. He's a perfectionist at his craft. He does what he's supposed to do.
Which he might not be here much longer after his comments the other night. But go on.
We're going to talk politics on the show.
No, we don't.
His beratement on Kyrie Irving over the last year and a half has made my heart sing. It's just like, finally, people have stopped giving this guy the benefit of the doubt. Except for Jalen Rose, apparently, who gave him a third-team All-NBA, and the Twitter world and NBA world did not like that. So even the internet has finally come around to my side, to our side of things. They fucking hate Kyrie Irving. And I love it. I love it. Oh, I love it so much. I fucking love it. So I hope he retires. I hope he retires at the ripe age of 28, where the fucking stupid young age he is. He thinks he owns the world, thinks he knows everything. Fuck Kyrie Irving.
Quickly, Richard, before you go, everyone likes ranking things. So I'd like you to rank this for me. Being married, your first child, and everyone hating Kyrie.
Everyone hating Kyrie.
I thought so. I just wanted to make sure.
I'm going to get a tattoo. I'm going to get a butthole tattoo of everyone hating Kyrie.
Of a dumpster and a fire coming up your butt crack.
No, it's just going to be Kyrie's third eye. It's going to be my asshole. It's going to be his fucking face. So that's NBA talk. Let's throw it over to headlines with the obvious one.
Thank you there, Richard. The Celtics are 1 win away from punching their ticket to the NBA Finals. Boston beat the Miami Heat 93-80 in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Jaylen Brown led all scorers with 25 points. Jason Tatum filled the stat sheet with 22 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists in 44 minutes. And the series now moves to Boston for Game 6 Friday night, 8:30 at the Garden. Early reports out of Boston are the Bud Lights and Badwords Red Sox hats are already nearly sold out in anticipation to a Friday night elimination game. The Red Sox had their winning streak snapped on Wednesday with a 3-1 loss to the White Sox. The local nine have climbed back to 3 games below 500 and are probably the best team in baseball right now. Trevor Story has led the way with an active bat and a message for the haters. Bye-bye, Xander. Just to reiterate the net story, Kyrie Irving is a cunt. This has been Headlines with the Obvious One. Back to you, Richard. It's Bill.
Yeah, you read much gooder without Bill in the
thank you
in the picture.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, speaking of grammar guru, talked to my mother today. She read one of my blogs on Simple Mind Sports. If anyone's interested in reading some blogs there, she gave me shit about. She gave me shit.
SimpleMindSports.com.
SimpleMindSports.com. Thanks. www.simplemindsports.com.
Hashtag.
She gave me shit about my grammatical errors in a blog.
Did she look at my Faith Marone one?
I don't think, you know what? She clicks that old like on Facebook for pretty much everything we do. That one, she must have missed that one.
Not. She missed that one.
Must have missed that one.
She saw the girl eating pizza in a thong.
By the way, your thirst trap standards are that was just it must have been a spontaneous run from you because
that girl. Oof.
Okay. Well, speaking of woof, the Red Sox winners of 7 of 9. Again, this is Thursday. We don't know what they did tonight against the White Sox to finish off that series in the rubber match. However, they're coming off a sweep of the Mariners, winners again of 7 of 9, 6 in a row. I think it was.
They lost 6 in a row. Yes. They
lost 3-1 to the White Sox on Wednesday.
Breaking news, Richard. Boston is up 3-0 in the top of the first. Chicago White Sox.
Well, there you go. And with the best bullpen in baseball, according to WEI a month ago, then no chance they blow this one. Within that win streak, you had a Franchy Cordero walk-off grand slam. Remember him? He's back. He's taken over first base duties for Brian Dahlbeck, who's still searching for the Mendoza line. That search is back on from last line. Brian fucking Bobby. God damn it.
Bobby.
Apologies to Brian Dahlbeck. Again, I did this all last year. Bobby Dahlbeck sucks. Brian Dahlbeck was decent. Bobby Dahlbeck sucks. This guy is not a major league player. Fuck you, Chaim Bloom, for thinking so. Franchy Cordero is up here. Don't expect this to continue for this type of player. Okay, for all you Red Sox bobos that want to jump on the Franchy Cordero train, he's going to hit a slump just like everybody else does. He's not that good of a player, but it was nice to see him come up here and have some success, and a walk-off grand slam is pretty sweet. Obviously, the lead story here for the Red Sox is Trevor Story.
See what you did there?
That's hard not to do. I didn't mean to do.
See what you did there?
I didn't mean to do that. Trevor Story.
I see how your brain works because yours is a little faster than mine, but like you said it, and then you're like, ooh, I didn't like.
Yeah, that. But I didn't mean to do it. It would. I
know. I would have done that.
I would have paused and waited for a reaction. The lead story.
Trevor Story.
Yeah, I waited for you to fucking catch up. Trevor Story's ranking.
We don't have an hourglass.
Let me give you some information here. Before the series with the Mariners in which they swept a week or so ago. Story was hitting 205, slugging 293 with a paltry, as they say in the this athletic story, OPS of 320.
Paltry?
Paltry.
Hold on a second.
You got to Google that?
Actually, go ahead, Richard.
You've been Googling a lot of vocabulary lately.
Yeah, you're botanist. Botanist. Paltry.
Against the Seattle Mariners, Story had his second three home run game of his career. That began the 4-game sweep against Seattle, and he's been hitting fantastic ever since. He was Player of the Week, and since then the slash line is hitting 360, 452, with a 1.120 OPS, just absolutely crushing as in the batter's box. Did Bloom get this right? Or is just this player getting, look, he was a really good hitter in Colorado. He's got that Colorado stink on him a little bit. But he wasn't as bad as he was to start the season. And let's remember, he didn't have a spring training. He was signed late. He got sick. I think there was something wrong with his wife or his kid or something where he had to leave spring training. Anyway, he barely played to start the season. So
Bill would know.
Your thoughts on Trevor Story and leading this team back to a paltry three games under 500. Best team in the MLB.
Fuck? Who gives a flying fuck about this? Yes, great. He had a couple great weeks. Cool. You got player of the week for AL player of the week. What's going to happen like in the next 4 weeks when he comes back to earth and he's not hitting the ball? And then we're going to ask why he's here and why we haven't paid Bogaerts yet. That's the whole question. If this continues, this is going to be Chaim Bloom and John Henry's reason not to sign Xander Bogaerts. Be like, oh, we can get this guy this guy's cheaper. We're paying him $23 million instead of paying Xander $33 million. So we're saving $10 million. This is just stupid. He's going to get cold again. Who gives a fuck? Like, move on.
I agree with you. He could go out there and hit 300. He won't. He's a 240, 250 hitter, by the way. Xander's a 280 hitter. He's regardless, he could go out there, hit 300, hit 30 home runs at 100 RBIs. I'd still say sign Xander Bogaerts.
Absolutely.
You can still have good players. You still got enough money to do so. Your lineup depends on it. Because by the way, in that win streak and in this surge from the Red Sox, the pitching staff is still giving up 4 runs a game. You're 29th in the MLB in games under 3 with less than 3 runs. That's not good. You were 22nd, I believe, or 25th last year, something like that. I heard the stat today. So what does that mean? You can't win without hitting. So you need good hitters or you need better pitchers. There's some pitchers on the horizon. You got some young pitching coming up, which we talk about in a second, but that's no guarantee. There is a closer guarantee to Xander Bogaerts being an excellent hitter, Trevor Story being a really good hitter, Devers being one of the best hitters in the league, JD Martinez being a really good hitter. Kiki Hernandez can get as hot as anybody in the league. If Verdugo got his ass out of his head, that's backwards, then he can be an okay hitter. We looked at this lineup 1 through 6 and said, if those guys do what they're supposed to do, the team will be okay. The problem is less than half of them did what they were supposed to do. Now Trevor Story's coming along, Kike's coming along. And holy shit, they start winning games. What a fucking novel concept. The greater point is you need all these guys unless you're going to go take that $33 million and give it to a pitcher. But they don't like signing pitchers over 30. So where's that money going to go? If it doesn't go to a homegrown talent, one of the best shortstops in the game,
which has
been in your system since 16 years old, like set a fucking precedent. Sign this goddamn player. I don't give a fuck what Trevor Story does. Signs into Bogaerts and move him to third or move him to second. I don't care. Keep both of them. Keep all 3 of him, Devers, and Bogaerts. There's your 2, 3, 4 hitter for the next 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah. David Ortiz came out and said it. You got to sign Xander. No matter what, it would be a travesty if you don't sign Xander Bogaerts to a long-term extension. Like,
yeah, it sets a precedent. And
if he's coming out as the biggest Red Sox lovable person of all time and our hero and all this bullshit, if David Ortiz is coming out and saying this, hey, John Henry, Chaim Bloom, you got to sign this guy. He's your homegrown talent. I mean, that has to reign at home and bring it home and be like, all right, we got to do something. We got to make this work.
Yeah, you'd think the uber PR conscious Boston Globe owning John Henry and Red Sox would be, their ears would be open to the likes of David Ortiz pushing for Xander Bogaerts, the entire Red Sox nation pushing for the signing of Xander Bogaerts pushing for the signing of Xander Bogaerts. You'd think that would come into play.
You think?
We'll see. We'll see if it does. If it doesn't, don't be surprised if Devers is the next guy to walk out the door. Now you've let
Betts
and Devers, who are MVP considered. Devers is now in the top 10 for MVP votes. Bogaerts isn't, quite an MVP player, but he's close. So you let those three homegrown talents walk. I mean, I've been literally angry
down
with the Reds. They've literally ruined days from thinking about this. Right? So yeah,
burn
go to
Fenway
hell
right to the fucking ground.
Speaking real quick, help on the way from the pitching staff. A little bit of positive notes here. I got three names for you. The first one, Chris Sale is throwing. He's throwing all of his pitches.
Ooh, cool. See you in July.
Worst.
I'm a green teamer, but a Red Sox fucking nation. No.
No. We're very down on the Red Sox. We're very down. On the Red Sox.
Very down.
Especially Chris Sale's act is really starting to run thin too.
Mm-hmm.
Tell it as it is. Take all the shoulder. Take all the blame. He can. That works in Boston for a while. But if you get paid $100 million and pitch 9 times in 2 years, starts to add up, dude.
Worst contract ever.
Have a cheeseburger. Maybe don't expose your ribs to a fucking
whoa. You need an eating coach. Hey. John Henry.
How did he hurt his ribs? He got smacked in a pool fight with one of those
noodles.
Fucking noodles.
Yeah.
Cracked his ribs. Have a cheeseburger. Have some pasta, you skinny fuck. Like you get $100 million. You're 6'9", nice, and you weigh 87 pounds. No wonder your ribs are like gonna get exposed and broken. He needs a flat jack. He needs to talk to Mac Jones and get himself some protection on those.
What'd you
ribs.
Call it?
I purposely didn't call it exactly what it is because I'm flat jacket, right?
It's a pancake.
What?
It's a pancake.
No, I'm talking about the rib protector that quarterbacks wear.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about pancakes.
Flapjack?
Yeah.
You don't like the
I don't like people calling. No, it's a fucking pancake.
No, I call it a pancake too.
Thank you. Yeah. Well,
no, don't you call it crepes up there?
Well, that's a totally different thing. We don't have time for this.
I hate that you're French. So Crystal, the other name is Josh Winkowski. This guy came over from the Mets in the Andrew Benintendi trade. Remember when he was traded for like 7 players that haven't amounted to shit? Mm-hmm. Josh Winkowski is expected to get a start this weekend. According to reports, he's a pitch to contact pitcher, which we haven't seen in, a decade. So we'll see how that works out. The other guy to keep your eye on is, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Brian Bello or yes. Brian Bello. I don't know.
Brian Bello.
Bryan.
That's French.
Bello.
You
might be. According to the Boston Herald, he's the most exciting prospect the Red Sox have had in years.
Don't tell Bill that.
Here's the write-up. The 23-year-old prospect made his debut against the Scranton Wilkes Barre Rail Riders and threw 6 innings, allowing 2 runs on 6 hits with a walk and 10 strikeouts. Bello? I'm gonna.
No, it's Bello. How the fuck you get Bello? You're saying like Scott Baio. It's Bello. 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 I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you, baby.
Bello posted nearly identical stat line Tuesday in his second AAA start against the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. He threw 6 innings, allowed 2 runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, struck out 10 again. Bello is the only pitcher with multiple 10 strikeout games in International League, needing just 2 starts to do so.
Can I stop you real quick? Do you think the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs mascot is Bill's mother?
I don't know. Have there been reports of paid fellatio on the field? Bello is now 2-0 with 2.03 ERA, 20 strike. That I'd take that back. That was mean. That was wrong. Bill's not even here, and certainly his mother's not here. So
Click, motherfucker.
that was wrong. Show up, Bill. 2-0, 3 ERA, 20 strikeouts, 4 walks, 12 innings. The kid looks good. He's coming off a run with AA Sea Dogs that was dominant as it gets. He posted a 1.6 ERA, 42 strikeouts, and 12 strikeouts in 33 2/3 innings up there in Portland. He also threw a new no-hitter amid a streak of 13 innings without allowing a hit.
I would say cool on that because no hitters are the most irrelevant stat in all of baseball.
No, well, yeah, but you have to understand that this is a pitcher in the Red Sox system. So 45-minute Bill is rock hard. Right? All he's doing is watching highlights of
is he on his fantasy? Is he on his fantasy baseball team?
He can't be. He's not in the majors yet, but he's probably stashed.
Well, who knows about his stupid fucking rules in his fantasy baseball? He probably has like a thing where he can get prospects.
Look, the kid's 23. He's right at that age where he should be dipping into the majors here. Here's the point about this. If you get a Bayo Bello appearance and you get a Winkowski and Chris Sale comes back, that's 3 guys you could throw in this lineup. You can put Whitlock back in the bullpen where he belongs as a weapon in there. And now, shit, if the story continues with story.
That's what you did there.
That he's hitting and you got your hitters back on track. Now you're looking at a team. Now you're looking back at a 90-win team like they were last year that should be able to compete. But again, I see you shaking your head. There's a lot of question marks here. There's a lot of Winkowski's never pitched. Bayo Bello's never pitched. Chris Sale is getting his ribs broke by pool floaties. So, there's still a lot of question marks. And clearly, Ray, you are very down on the John Henry Pittsburgh Penguin Red Sox.
Liverpool. Also, do you ever go on a diet for like 3 weeks and you're like, holy shit, my life's going to change? And then all of a sudden you go on a Bender Boys weekend, you drink 30 beers and you eat all the shitty food that you can and you're back to you being your fat, ugly self. This is what's going to happen to the Red Sox. You have 3 good weeks and then you're going to be right back to your ugly self and you're going to win 80 games maybe, if you're lucky.
Fair enough. Well, enjoy that bender, Red Sox. We'll see you on the other side. And for us, Ray, let's take a quick afternoon delight.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
Whoop. You guys have it, I think.
Afternoon delight.
I don't know, Ron. That sounds kind of crazy.
Wow, we are running late. We just have
but it's fun.
We have a lot of chatter in between here. Is that what's going on?
No, it's just a lot of cover. I mean, the Celtics are going to be in the NBA Finals. Red Sox still suck, and Mac Jones has lost weight.
Do you know what? You know what? Actually, the game changer is. You're real chatty tonight. I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it.
Well, I don't usually get to speak.
No, you've had a run here of 3 weeks in a row.
It's nice. You next week when Bill, it's just gonna be me and Bill next week, and then the following week it's just gonna be.
You'll be back to that baby deer with his fucking legs falling out, trying to figure out.
See the headlights? No, I see headlights and just don't know what to do. Just.
I see headlights. Mac Jones spoke to the media. Can I read you this answer from a question that I think,
yes, you may.
Is the biggest takeaway from this? Mac Jones speaking to the media at OTAs. Wow, this didn't translate into the email at all. This is going to be a little bit tough.
I saw that and I was like, "Oh, am I stupid or is this just bad copy and paste?"
What do you think?
Stupid.
Question here. Mac, what's your relationship with Joe at this point? Speaking about Joe Judge, of course. MJ, as the official transfer from Patriots.com reads, MJ, Mac Jones. Yeah, I think I got a I wonder if I could have do I have a Mac Jones voice? Yeah, I think I had a chance to see him last year in training camp between camp practices and all that he's done, and great job coaching us. He's seen a lot of football. Obviously, he's been around football a long time, whether that be a head coach or a special teams playing a position himself. See, he's going through puberty because he's.
I know what you did there. Yeah,
very young. I don't think he can grow a beard. I'm going to read the rest like me.
That's fine. I like that.
So he has the knowledge that is very beneficial to me as a quarterback, and obviously I'm going to learn with him. That's the goal. It's kind of teach each other and move along and take what he knows, then take the experiences that I have and combine them and work together as a great team. obviously we have him and Hoyer and Bailey. So we have a great group of guys that can come together and work together in that room and stuff. And cool.
Like cool. That's icing on the cake for me.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get a Mac Jones quote a lot. I like talking in Mac Jones voice. Obviously, the big line that, and this is all over, Boston sports media. This isn't new, but basically saying we're gonna teach each other.
AKA,
we've already been over this.
Play calls.
You said this in your opening take. The coaching staff, the Patriots, the biggest question mark in Boston right now, probably when it comes to sports. What the fuck are the Patriots doing on the offensive side of the ball?
I wrote a nice little blog about Harry and Lloyd, who I've named Dumb and Dumber, Matt Patricia and Joe Judge.
Did you name them Dumb and Dumber, or did the movie Dumb and Dumber?
The movie name. I took them as the characters from Dumb and Dumber and named them Harry and Lloyd. All right, go on. Because I don't think these buffoons know, or as Bill would call them, walking tits, know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, they don't know enough more than Mac Jones, apparently, because they're going to teach each other how to handle the offense. Jesus, I don't know. Your second-year quarterback. I wrote a blog.
Yeah, going the full opposite.
This is just to push the blog, daily blog thing. On simplemindsports.com, www.simplemindsports.com.
HTTP semicolon /
I wrote a blog titled, "Hey, it could work," where my mother scolded me for my grammatical errors.
Oh, that's the one? All right.
Essentially saying, and I brought Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, a number of quarterbacks, Phillip Rivers, a number of quarterbacks in the discussion about who was their offensive coordinator and does it matter? In a lot of these circumstances, either you don't know who the OC was, the OC sucked, or it was the head coach that was calling the plays. So if those are the circumstances for the Patriots, either the OC sucks in Matt Patricia, or you don't really know who he is in Joe Judge, or it's Bill Belichick, who I would have faith in calling an offensive game. Don't really want him to, would rather him just be the head coach. But if he did call the offense for Mac Jones, I'd have faith in Mac Jones being successful with Bill Belichick in that role. Either way, there is a chance that it doesn't matter. If Mac Jones is good enough, if Mac Jones, I'm not calling him Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, but if Mac Jones in his second year can get on that trajectory, then maybe it just doesn't matter. Maybe he can just be good enough to, and maybe coaching is just a little bit overrated. Maybe play calling is just a little bit overrated. Bill Belichick himself said it doesn't really matter what plays we call. It just matters that they're executed. So maybe it just won't matter as much as we think it is. Maybe Josh McDaniels' tires were pumped up a little too much here. He did go to Denver and fail fucking miserably. His success did come with Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback, in the history of the game. He did have a good year with Mac. I'll give him that. And he did make Cam Newton look somewhat respectable for half that year. I think he's a good coach. I'm just saying it could work.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Who had that interception in the Super Bowl against the Seahawks on Russell Wilson?
Jesus. All right. Well, that's out of left field. Malcolm Butler?
Oh, that's correct. Who took full credit for that interception and didn't even touch the field that day?
Would that be Matt Patricia?
Correct. So that's what I think is going to happen. This egotistical cunt is going to have his fingerprint all over this offense and it'll be like, it's me, me, me. So I see this being a total car wreck and going in a very bad direction.
Maybe. I'll play devil's advocate here. There are reports out of Patriots camp from years ago from the wide receivers there, 2019, that someone said Joe Judge doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. That was the year with Antonio Brown. He was only there 7 days, but I'm going to say it was Antonio Brown that told the media that Joe Judge doesn't know what he's talking about. Otherwise, who else would it be? Julian Edelman? Other than that, there's not a lot of reports out of Patriots camp that their coaches suck. Like, even...
Well, you think they would say that? You think Bill Belichick would let any of these guys say that?
There's widespread support of a lot of the coaches. Even Steve Belichick gets a lot of support from ex-players that are not there anymore. I think the coaching is good. I think the coaching is actually good. But yeah, there is some ego shit going on, and there is some dysfunction going on in terms of the game day operation and titles. And for whatever reason, they're fucking around with the politics of it all, and it makes things confusing. But I don't think that the Patriots are the Patriots without good coaching. I think the coaching is good. We'll just see how it translates now after this brain trust is drained down to Dumb and Dumber and Bill and his Bobo tongue licking kid. Here's a little Patriot porn before we try and end this show. It's been going along. Actually, you know what? We're going to skip that. We'll save that for next time. Okay, let's do Simplest Minds of the Week to end the show.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as stupid does.
I got one. You never gave me a candidate unless you want to throw a wild card in here.
Okay. This is good. This is perfect.
This is the one.
This is the one.
This could probably bring up a lot. They could make this list a lot. The Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns signed or traded for. Sorry,
traded.
Ooh, I didn't look up what they traded.
Keep talking, and
Can you look up the exact deal they did for Deshaun Watson, obviously quarterback, and paid him $230 million guaranteed over a 5-year contract, $45 million in signing bonus. That's guaranteed cash, and $55 million cap hit for every year that after this one. And the reason why they make the list of simplest minds is because Deshaun Watson obviously did not play last year because he has been indicted with 26 or 22.
I don't know. It keeps going up every fucking week.
Every fucking week, another girl comes forward saying that he
touched me.
Sexually assaulted or sexually misconduct with massage therapists. Basically, trying to get sex or a sexual act, poking these girls.
We call that a Bill Gately massage.
You wouldn't go that far. I don't think he's up for indictment.
Well, because he clicks.
Well, he knows where to go.
Yeah.
He knows the establishments that are cool with that. Him and Kraft, they go down to Jupiter.
Yeah.
Obviously, these 22 to 26 women, 30, I think I've seen upwards of 30 for civil suits. Obviously, they did not feel the same way. Deshaun Watson went into court and admitted that he made a girl cry and looked like an absolute buffoon. And now there are rumors that Deshaun Watson may get the Trevor Bauer treatment and a season plus long suspension. Trevor Bauer is suspended for another 2 years. After his sexual misconduct case that was thrown out in court, by the way. So if any Cleveland fans are out there waiting for this to get thrown out, I know the NFL has some lenient policies with these cocksuckers in their domestic abuse and sexual abuse, but seems like this high-profile case won't get that treatment. The Cleveland Browns gave this guy $230 million guaranteed and have still not even moved on from Baker Mayfield. What an absolute shit show.
They also gave up 3 first-round picks this year's 2023 and 2024, 1 third-round draft pick in 2023, and 2 fourth-round draft picks this year's and 2024, all for Deshaun Watson. Cleveland is going to keep on Clevelanding. Yeah.
This has been the Simple Minds Sports Show, Friday Rewind, May 27th. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Maybe we'll see Bill next week. Bye-bye.
You won't see me.
No, because you're going to Mormon land.
That's what you wanted.
That's what it's called. Wait, what did you have to tell me?
Oh. I can't tell you.
I waited all night for this? You can't tell me?
No, just wait for next time. Remind me next time.
Fuck. Thank you, Irene.
Thanks, Irene.
Richard?
Just playing in the dark again, hey baby?
Oh, always. Always just. You
Just-
muted me? No, I'm not
No,
muted.
you're not muted. You're just very dark.
Am I?
Yeah, you've really got
Need that.
something going.
Did you send that smoke machine yet or no?
Oh, my bad. No.
It's all right. That'd be the perfect way to spend my days in the basement.
Shipping costs are pretty high right now.
Yeah, everything's high right now. I understand, baby. Bill,
You know-
how are you?
He's high. He's not here. He's high. He's high on other things, love, and things like
Drugs.
that. Illicit drugs is generally the case.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time Bill was on this show?
3 weeks
2000.
ago.
2021.
Yes, he was the ripe age of 68.
Just pushing off that 69 for as long as he can.
Uh-huh. Well, he always said he has never lived to see his 69th birthday, so one can only hope.
Maybe yeah, fuck Bill.
No, come on. We're happy for Bill. Bill's a good boy.
I'm not happy for Bill.
Bill said that we were his close friends, and that meant a lot to me.
So it got me thinking, maybe we're his only friends.
No, he's playing poker tonight for one of his friends.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's why he couldn't make it tonight. He had to play poker.
Is he a friend or is he a substitute?
Ooh, that's going to make me think all night. It's like if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound. Does Bill have friends?
This is the philosophizer show.
Yes. Just I'm going to enlighten you with my words of wisdom and make you think.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I could use a third person here because I am low energy today.
Why?
A lot going on this week. Packing. We're leaving tomorrow.
Oh, where are you going? Where are you going?
I'm not going to disclose that information. That would be a foolish gesture on my part. I'm going to be grilling though, so I'm not going to be available next week.
Oh, that's where you're going next week. I forgot.
So just keep that in mind. I'll be manning the grill, so I will not be available next Wednesday. So hopefully Bill gets over the.
If not, it's going to be me by
like,
myself. I'll fucking talk to myself all day.
I can't wait for the Dr. Big Mac solo show. I'd like you to set up 2 cameras so you're talking to one and answering the other.
Done. I don't know how I'll do it, but done.
Dr. Big Mac, what is your favorite ingredient on the Big Mac? Thank you for asking, Dr. Big Mac.
The special sauce, of course, you idiot.
Special sauce, of course. Ask your mother. Fuck you, it's your mother too. Fuck you, it's your mother too. And then it just gets it's just 45 minutes of a loop.
That's probably what it would go like.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's start the show on that note. The Simple Minds sports show, if you haven't noticed, where we talk New England sports, not just